There are a lot of Backrooms series on YouTube. The Backrooms, of course, being an alternate dimension that has a few levels, not really hard to navigate or anything. All of these series, as you can imagine, are very calm, quiet, and comforting experiences. So comforting. Anyway, Frag 2 is a channel that's been blowing up recently thanks to their series of Backrooms videos that focus mainly on the Backrooms levels and the entities within them. With 8 episodes, you can imagine that these videos have a lot of content within them as well. Ah, the pool house. A place that really makes you wonder why anyone would ever hate swimming. I mean, look at how enjoyable this corridor looks. Really makes that thalassophobia tingle. Or was it claustrophobia? Oh well, we don't have time for that because we're already sliding into the next level. Actually, before we do that, I'd like to comment on the great sense of scale that this series has. Although you've only seen one area so far, I'm sure you can tell that there's a great sense of perspective here. You can always see how dwarfed you really are by the scale of some of these areas, whether that be a long corridor, a high ceiling, or a really deep hole. The lobby is a series of infinite walls similar to level 0 of the Backrooms that... Huh? Oh no. Yeah, I probably should have talked about the entities. The Backrooms have a ton of entities, some good, some bad, and some in between. This was obviously a bad one, an Aranea Membri in fact. We'll learn more about that one in a minute, but before then we need to enter the final area. This place is reminiscent of a hotel hallway. An infinite, unending hallway. It seems kind of peaceful. Okay, never mind. Yeah, a lot of levels can be pretty dangerous. This is kind of the most terrifying part about the Backrooms itself. Unless you have knowledge of every single level, how it works, what entities live there, how to exit the level, how to deal with entities, etc., you really have no idea how dangerous each level is. Every single step you take, every door you step through, forces you to enter the unknown. It's like a Russian roulette where every single turn has a chance of dropping you into a terrifying level of unprecedented danger that you'll never escape from. I guess that means we should probably learn about a couple entities while we're here. Aranea Membri is described as a
large arachnid but with an animal skull for a head and traverses throughout the ceiling of certain levels.
It can also run for up to 12 hours but needs an equal amount of time to rest. They also seem to be fine congregating together as 3 of them can be spotted in this ceiling alone. Considering how long these things can run, it would probably be wise to find a good escape route. The hole is an opening in the walls of level 0 that kind of looks like the opening of one of those playground slides. You know the one. After sending a rover into the hole, it dies before it reaches the bottom, so it's not known if this would be a good escape route or not. When you think about it, this is really a terrifying scenario. Imagine you're running away from some type of entity chasing you, terrified as everywhere you go looks exactly the same. Finally, you find an opening in the wall. It looks ominous, but you really have no other choice but to jump in. You do, and now you're up to the mercy of this place. Will you end up in another level? Will that level be more dangerous, or will it be somewhere that you can catch your breath? The Backrooms have existed for an indeterminate amount of time, but the amount of time that people have been able to record what's actually going on inside can be traced back to the late 80s or early 90s. March 21st, 1996 was the day that this individual decided to traverse the Backrooms. We have the usual stuff, liminal spaces, giant moths, sentient office chairs, nothing too crazy. But one thing that did intrigue me was when the person recording discovered a body. This body belonged to a man that was born in 2047. To me, this means that no matter when you existed, when you enter the Backrooms, you all exist on the same plane of time. I wonder how this affects time outside of the Backrooms as well. If you do escape, will you ever get to go back to your normal life, or will hundreds or even thousands of years have passed? Oh hey, that kind of looks like the Holiday Express Inn in London. Anyway, back to the hotel room. This is pretty nice. Kind of peaceful actually. As long as we don't make any stupid decisions, I'm sure that... Are you really walking in there right now? These stairs just look like a bad idea. Yep, I told you. You see these coordinates? This is the best place to clip into the Backrooms, which is also apparently here. So Canadians, take that as you will. If you do clip into the Backrooms, make sure to record it and send it to my Twitter or Instagram at geariskoyt. Alright, anyway, after clipping into the Backrooms of this location, you should end up somewhere like this. Don't mind the, wasp hive. Yeah, the wasp hive that's on the wall. It's dormant anyway. This guy isn't an issue either. After walking around up here, you might be a little bored or terrified. So I'll give you a quick method to clip back into the front rooms, our reality. Now this does have only a 28% chance of working, but I mean, you don't really have anything to lose, so what does it matter? So what you'll need to do is find a door, wedge your foot in it, and slam. Note, doing this in regular life is not condoned, thank you. Now we could presume that if you don't clip out of the backrooms, you may clip into a different level. If you see a lot of exit signs after you clip through, you need to start running. And don't stop, because if you do, you'll literally lose your life. Anyway, does anyone hear the sound of a birthday party? Oh yep, here it is. Really reminds me of the good old days. Surprised they never figured out how to stop the balloons from doing that though. I don't really get the point of setting up a birthday party if nobody's showing up though. Oh hey, there's the birthday boy. Now while you may think that it's odd that the backrooms have an arcade level, there are actually several. This brings up an interesting point. That being, what if you decided to stay in the backrooms? If you had the proper resources, would you just live forever? It's something interesting to think about. Well, if I was gonna pick a level to stay on forever, it would definitely not be this one. See, I knew there was something wrong with it. One oddly common theme in the backrooms is water. Perhaps that's because of the fact that humans don't thrive at all in the water. In fact, that's exactly why so little of the Earth's oceans have been explored so far. Well, because of that, and what's in it. The sound design of this series is truly top notch. One place that it shines in is the current segment that's playing. You can hear the sound muffle and weaken as they round corners and walk away, and how everything can be drowned out by the sounds of the wind after they open the door. Why in the world would you go out here? Or here? This is debatably worse, actually. Okay, no, it definitely is worse. Well, I can't say that I ever thought that I would see some backroom scientists do entity hunting. You know, actually, this leads to another philosophical discussion. If somehow humans were able to bring the dead backrooms entities back to Earth, and their remains could be used for food or fuel, would that be viewed as negatively as hunting can be viewed on our current dimensional plane? Or does morality only really concern ourselves in things that we can understand or care about, not the lives of creatures that don't even exist in the same dimension as us? It's just something to think about. Speaking of entities, have you ever wondered what type of things would lurk in the forests of the backrooms? After all, even in our world, the forest is a place that many people avoid due to the many dangerous animals that exist inside. Surely the backrooms would have to have something much more dangerous than any of those things, right? Well, yeah. Yeah, they do. The worst part is that this is more of an open area, somewhere that although it has trees has much less room to hide, meaning that you really don't have any way to avoid these things. However, this is even worse when you think about the fact that it may be possible that much worse creatures are lurking in the more dense foliage. Do you run into a sea of trees and hide, or do you take your chances in outrunning the creature itself? The Backrooms is a truly terrifying place with a billion levels and a billion more entities. It makes you question the nature of life itself and allows you to realize how much we should value the stability of our dimension. After all, we don't have to worry about accidentally ending up in another country if we trip and fall or something. And even though it may seem like it, no, I didn't end up in the Backrooms for the last 3 weeks, but I am back. Thank you for all of your support and have a good day.